Yes, indeed. Welcome back to the Monday edition of Off the Wire. I am your host, Noel Lynn, aka the Cajun Libertarian. And man, do I have a banger for you today. Do I? Oh, I do. Oh, I do. Before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, basically anywhere you can get your podcast. Smash that like button and smash that share button because word of mouth is still 1000% the way we get this information out there. And man, do I have the information today. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know of or have heard of anyone else sharing this the way I have linked these together. So please share it with your friends and let's get this out there because there's a lot of people that are still very much in that sheep mentality, in that cult, that anti-science cult. And here we go again. They're revamping up their desire because they didn't get enough of it the first time to rain down absolute total authoritarianism on your life via COVID. Now, before we do that, I want to show you this clip because it is just as applicable now more than ever. And we need these people to wake up if we want to win. Period. Full stop.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
What truth?
That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All I am offering is the truth, nothing more. And it's been offered up by many, many, many people. And still some of y'all refuse to freaking listen. So that brings me to this right here. CDC tracking new COVID variant BA.2.86 after highly mutated strain reported in Michigan on August 18th. CBS. Let's freaking get into it. But before we do, thank you to my sponsor at Infinite Zeal. That's at _ Infinite Zeal. At _ Infinite Zeal. Please go like and follow. Absolutely. Also at the Lunatic Libertarian. That's at the Lunatic Libertarian. You can find them on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, all of those things. All of those things. Now let's go because this is unfreaking real. But if you've at all been paying attention to this channel, you knew this was coming. I don't even know why anyone is surprised by this. I will repeat. CDC tracking new COVID variant BA.2.86 after highly mutated strain reported in Michigan August 18th. So that was 2 days ago. It is too early to say whether or not the variant will be more dangerous than the currently circulating strains of the virus. The UN agency says more data is needed to understand the threat that BA.2.86 might pose, but had accelerated the classification due to its sheer number of changes. Yeah, what? That should be a freaking tip off. Share this show with your friends. Let them know this is completely out of control. Just the first freaking sentence tells you that they're beyond understanding. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's actually applicable to the society. All they care about is their narrative of totalitarianism. Period. Full stop. Because if they were telling you the truth, they would absolutely say 100%. To be honest with you, they wouldn't even report on it. If they were telling the truth, the real truth, they wouldn't say anything about it. Why would they? It's not dangerous. You're talking about another subvariant of a subvariant of a variant of the actual disease. And I might be undercutting that. It's amazing. The strain's dozens of genetic changes and evolutionary jump on par with the emergence of the original Omicron variant in 2021. I repeat, on par with the emergence of the original Omicron variant in 2021, which we all know was not dangerous for the vast majority of the public. It has raised eyebrows among virologists as cases have started to crop up around the world. Its mutations include some changes at key parts of the virus that could help it better dodge the body's immunity from prior infections or vaccinations. Straight fear porn. Straight fear porn. Useless information. It's just a stepping stool to the next part. Now, before we get to the next part, let's look at some recent developments coming out of the narrative. August 8th, Daily Mail. Dr. Fauci referred to top D.C. prosecutor for criminal charges. Republican Rand Paul demands perjury probe into his lie, quote unquote, under oath that COVID did not come from the Wuhan lab. What do you want me to say? Hopefully it doesn't get me banned from YouTube. Well, we all know that's a lie. Everyone knows that's a lie. Everyone knows that's false. Everyone knows that this virus, more than likely, I guess I'll have to do something there because I'm not an absolutist. More than likely, this virus came from the Wuhan lab. Level 4 virology lab in Wuhan, China. I might add. Let's keep going. Republican Senator Rand Paul is recommending the top prosecutor in Washington, D.C. pursue an investigation and possible criminal charges against Dr. Anthony Fauci for allegedly lying under oath about COVID-19 origins. Quote, Dr. Fauci testified that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. Proven false. Proven false. I'll give you exactly why, definitively, at the end here. Now, stick with me because we're going somewhere very important. All right. I guess here's what I'll do. I'll give you the headline for the next article, and we can debate over whether or not this may or may not come true. Here's the headline: exclusive. Biden admin preparing to bring back full COVID restrictions rollout to begin mid-September. That's from InfoWars, same day, August 18th. Back to the investigatory article from Rand Paul, or not from, is from Daily Mail, but because of Rand Paul into Dr. Fauci. And if you're not paying attention whatsoever, we all know that Dr. Fauci needs to be in prison or worse for life. If I believed in the death penalty, public hanging, Nuremberg trials 2.0, nothing less. But I don't. I don't do the death penalty. So I can't do that. And so I have to go with life in prison, hard labor. No question. Somebody like Fauci should spend the rest of his life in prison picking ice off the Antarctic with his bare hands until he freezes to death in a miserable, deadly cold. And hopefully he finds Jesus before then. But that's what he deserves. Let's continue. Dr. Fauci testified that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain of function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. That's a lie. Already proven. Plus, gain of function everywhere else. I'll explain what that is in a minute. In a subsequent hearing, I warned Dr. Fauci of the criminal implications of lying to Congress. Excuse me. And offered him an opportunity to recant his previous statements. Writes Rand Paul in the letter exclusively obtained by the dailymail.com. In response, Dr. Fauci stated that he had never lied before Congress, never lied before the Congress. That's a lie also. And did not retract the statement. Dr. Fauci's testimony is inconsistent with facts that have since come to light. The senator continues. On July 13, 2023, the House Select Subcommittee on the Coronavirus Pandemic released emails sent by Fauci about a conference call regarding the origins of COVID attended by Dr. Francis Collins, former director of the National Human Genome Research Institute. I will repeat, National Human Genome Research Institute, the NHGRI, and other researchers. In one email, Fauci admits the scientists had concerns that COVID might have been genetically engineered and that these were worsened by the fact that gain of function research was taking place in Wuhan prior to the pandemic. I don't care what you do, YouTube. I'm gonna speak the facts. This has been proven. This has been proven true. We 100% know beyond the shadow of a doubt that not only was Eco Health Alliance, Dr. Fauci, NAID, NIH, Wuhan Institute of Virology, most quote unquote scientific investigatory labs across the planet are engaged in some level of gain of function research. Gain of function research is, in a nutshell, at its most base form, we take a virus and then we see how we can make it more transmissible and virulent to humans or even other mammals, even if that virus was not transmissible to humans in the first place. Right? So, like, they claim that it came from a bat. A bat is a rodent, which means they would have had to have made some sort of leap in scientific research to make it transmissible from rodents to humans. Sound familiar? Like lab rats, lab mice? Of course, they were involved in gain of function research. This is not debatable. Anybody arguing otherwise is either ignorant, got their head stuck in the sand, cultist, or all of the above. And the most likely scenario is all of the above. Excuse me. I'm still getting my voice ready to get back to singing and doing the podcast. My apologies. Incredible. We're still having this conversation. This has been debunked beyond recognition. Of course, they were doing gain of function. Gain, meaning the functionality of the virus is being gained through outside sources. It's in the name. Yes, they were doing it. And if you will recall that infamous uh, or notorious, however you want to label it, interview with Rand Paul grilling Fauci, and Fauci saying, "You don't know what you're talking about." Excuse me, Senator Paul, you don't know what you're talking about. Oh, the appeal to authority argument within an emotional status. It tells you everything. The guy's a genocidal bureaucratic tyrant. Look how many people he screwed over and got killed during the AIDS pandemic. Epidemic. Sorry. Come on. Wake up. He needs to be in prison for life. Hard labor. Make my tax money worth it. I want him separating ice chips off the North Pole by finger until he freezes to death. Or worse. Now that brings us to our last bit. And then we're going to close out. Exclusive. Biden admin preparing to bring back full COVID restrictions rollout to begin mid-September. Now, it's from InfoWars, which is Alex Jones's channel. As a person who criticized Alex Jones to an one of the more unprecedented degrees, really thought of him as a joke. I would say, to be honest, over the last year, 6 months to a year, I'll be a little bit generous there. Dude's been right. I was wrong. He's been right. He's been yelling about stuff that are coming true for decades. And at this point, the standard should be Alex Jones is right. Prove me wrong. With the new information that comes out, if I hear it from Jones, my response is, all right, I'm going to take that at face value, and then I'm going to go research. And I'm going to try to debunk it. Otherwise, it's probably true. I suggest you do the same. Return to the friggin' frogs, gay. Atrazine, RFK Jr. Can I give you a more blatant, obvious answer? Come on. Exclusive. Biden admin preparing to bring back full COVID restrictions rollout to begin mid-September from InfoWars August 18th. And if you don't think they will do this right in the middle of an election season while they just indicted Trump on a bunch of garbage, and I'm a never Trumper. I don't like Trump. I never have. I'm never voted for him. I'm never going to, because I don't base my voting on the whims of who might be the lesser of two evils. I don't like Trump. He did some good things during his presidency. He also did some very awful things, like every other president, and that's the standard. So no, I'm not going to vote for him. I want to vote for the most principled person, not the one that can win. This is insane. What they're doing to Trump right now is insane. And you have to be a smooth-brained, mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging cultist to think anything otherwise. These are obviously trumped-up charges against him because they're scared. And if they weren't, you wouldn't have this right here. Here we go again, round 2. And I don't care about who wins the election. I care about your liberty. I care about your freedom. I care about your health, your safety, and mine and my family's. And I ain't going to comply. I didn't the first time. And I got criticized for it from a lot of my own camp. Didn't care. Said, don't care. I know better. Nope. I know what these people do when they garner power off the back of your freaking fear. James Madison. Crisis is the rally cry of the tyrant. Whistleblowers from the TSA and Border Patrol have raised the alarm to InfoWars that the Biden administration is setting the stage for full COVID lockdowns that will begin with incremental restrictions like masking TSA employees in mid-September. The first source, a high-level TSA official, confirmed and known to InfoWars, reached out to InfoWars and cited on a Tuesday meeting in which TSA managers were told new memorandums and policies were being completed that would re-implement masking, starting with TSA and airport employees as early as mid-September. Here we go. You think they're going to let it go? Obviously, they're not. They're not going to let it go because some of y'all supported it. And so don't be shocked because you didn't do your research. I'm being harsh. Sorry. You didn't do your research. You didn't find out that a respiratory inflammatory virus would restrict your lung capacity, effectively restricting the distribution of oxygen to your body, and you believe the narrative. You looked at the videos coming out of China of people walking over and dying. And that's not how a respiratory virus works. Because of the lack of distribution of oxygen, you will be bedridden before you die because your muscles won't have the required oxygen to function. A lot of y'all fell for that. Y'all saw those videos. You panicked. I pray to God, everyone under the sound of my voice understands how much of a mistake that was. And how much they lied to you for their own power. They shut down your businesses. They made old people die alone. They wouldn't let you have your husbands in the same room with you birthing your children over the sniffles. I got into this because of COVID. And by God, I will not leave this space if we are about to enter here again. The reason I ain't left this space already is because of the overwhelming support that has been shown to me that this is a show that you appreciate. Otherwise, I'd have been gone. The final straw that broke the camel's back for me was the response to coronavirus 19. But before I even entered this space, before I had 70,000+ followers on the internet, the response I got for telling people that they were stupid for obeying these people, these government officials, just by just scratching the surface of history. You don't have to be a historian. I'm damn sure not. Just scratch the surface. Y'all fell for it. Some of you. For those of you that fell for it originally and then recovered quickly, I commend you. I applaud you. You're actually kind of the real heroes here. It's kind of easy for me to sit here in a position of, since day one, I said no. Day one. But for the people that actually believed the narrative and then did their own research and said, absolutely not, you're actually the real heroes. Don't stop. Because I promise you, right freaking now, they're not going to stop. And I'll leave it right there. I'll see you tomorrow. Same Cajun time, same Cajun channel. Galatians 2:20, and I am out.